Hi, my name's Will Bibby. I'm a Hsing practitioner. I'm going to be demonstrating aspects of Hsing Chuan, the 5-element fist. First of all, I would like to describe Wu Chi, or quiet standing, as is illustrated in Alan Pittman's and Robert Smith's Hsing book. So, you lift the back of the head, the crown, gently. You drop the shoulders, relax the arms and the hands, unlock the knees, and press gently into the ground. At the same time, being aware of the total body sensation, especially in your hands. Don't forget to raise the back of the head so you feel a stretch between the sky and the ground. The knees are simply unlocked, not really bent, just unlocked. You will probably notice after a minute a pleasant sensation all over, but especially in your fingers and your hands, and a sensation of being slightly taller, elevated, and possibly an uplifted mood. Okay. The next will be to stand in static postures of the shapes in the forms. So it would be the following. You would hold position for maybe maximum in the beginning for 3 minutes, then move on to the next, and so on. So you'd hold these. What generates these postures, these movements, is Santi. It's called Santi, and I'll now describe and illustrate Santi. It's about 60-40, 60 in the back, 40 in the front foot. You can hold this for various lengths of time. Go on to the next. As I said, this posture generates all the 5 fists of Hsing or Hsing Chuan, and also other aspects of Hsing like the 12 animals and linking fists. Right. I'll show a different way of doing. Oh, sorry. We'll start to walk through the forms. When you've done this for some time and get used to it, there's also an aspect that you can actually, if you want to, visualize a color, because this represents Chuan, the lungs. So when you stood in this position, you could visualize the color white. Purification of the lungs. The next one, this way or this way, drilling. The color is blue for the kidneys. This one, for the liver, green. This, pounding, for the heart, red. This one, the spleen yellow. Right. I don't have enough space to really show you how to get the rhythm, because you need quite a distance to work up a certain rhythm to produce an uplift in mood and a feeling of raised energy in the body. So I can't really illustrate that in this patch, but it's more like, shall we say, instead of say this, it would be more, another way of doing splitting, more like this. Instead of this, it's this way. I'll show you 7-star stepping. This is when you step to the side of an opponent to evade his attack. Parry or grab and strike at the same time. In fact, in each fist it's basically like that. Say, drilling, grab, drill, grab down the forearm, the wrist, hold, pull, or just hold and strike. Each of the 5 has that tactic where you can parry, deflect, grab. I'll show you an instance using this splitting exercise, like eagle grasp, to the side. Another way of splitting for static postures, for the lungs. Chopping wood. It's not seen often what I've just done in Chuan splitting fist, but it is a way, my teacher showed me this as a way of making the breathing more apparent, because it's the rib cage. When you do this, it's like so you don't think, when shall I breathe? It does it for you, like this motion. Right. Again, I'll show from this angle the side step from 7-star. Someone's coming in, parry, knee strike, hit, side step, again, hit. With splitting now, sorry, drilling. Step to the side, in, step to the side, in. Again. And obviously with the last 2, it's just the same. It's like here. And so on. Same with this on Chuan. Right. As regards going back to people learning this, when you hold the postures, you need to stand. I would recommend how I would show it to students. that they stand and get used to the feeling of becoming comfortable in each of the 5. It can be, I would suggest at the beginning 3 minutes. That'd be like 3 minutes on the left, 3 minutes on the right. Back to Santee. Santee, I call it dragon body, simply because if you look at the postures, it can be that, and it can move from here to using the hip joints to move forward, but the back is still straight. It's not rounded and sloping. So it'd be but you're still in Santee. It's just you're using the joints more. And the idea in Hsing Yi is to occupy the opponent's territory. So hence you would say just go straight in. But if that wasn't possible, move to the side. As regards Hsing Yi's origins, it is said that it goes back to the battlefield with the warriors of China using the spear. So that could be thought of. If you look at Chen Panling's an older photograph, you'll see him doing this. Now that's like a spear. Right. Yeah, so Santee, again, I call it dragon posture, dragon body, because if you look between heels and knees, straight line, knees and hips straight, hips to head straight. Even, as I said, even though when you go in an attack, like it can be more going forward into a person, so you wouldn't be necessarily like that, because you'd be going into it. Yeah, so I'll go through the sequence, what I would show someone, or a group of people. First of all, Wu Chi. Oh, with Wu Chi, you can actually stand like this. It's the same procedure, same formula, as this way, as in Alan's book in the beginning, but you can stand this way. But the feet aren't splayed to the side with this method. And I don't go shoulders, I go about hips. The knees are unlocked, head raised, so shoulders relaxed, down, feet pressing on the ground, but gently, and you will begin to feel circulation. From the side. You don't want that or this, it's got to be plump. It's like a line between the sky and the ground. As I'm doing this now, I can feel it immediately, right into my fingers. It's a wonderful feeling, and it's all over the body. So this is actually good for your Hsing Yi practice, because when you're moving, it's a different situation. Your mind is taken up with the form and the intention you want to create, whether it's to attack or simply do a movement. And that's why, going back to static, that's how to start to understand what intention is to create a form. You know, from nothing. How do you create a movement? So create a movement. But that has to be in the mind first as an intention, like a picture of a shape. And you have to actualize that in your body. And that takes practice. So therefore, if you start from a static, you'll begin to understand what it feels like in that shape and how to create it moving. And that is the next step when you walk through, as I showed you in the previous video. When you walk through the movements, as I say, I can't go fast in here, it's not long enough. But I'll show you another way of doing Chen Pan Ling's splitting, different from what I showed you before. This is how as far as I'm aware, his sons did it this way. That'd be here. And so on. Okay, that's it for now, thank you.